Hey guys, see what I've got going on in the shop today. Big surprise there. So I uploaded a video on this about a week or so ago about it's running rich and flooding, which unfortunately I have nothing to report on that. It's still doing it. I've just learned to sort of manage the symptoms and have learned to start the car every morning in a way where it will avoid that problem from happening. And if it does happen, I've got people in the house that fortunately can help me hold the choke plates open and clear flood mode for me if it so chooses to do that. But it hasn't been that big of an issue. What I have noticed through all of this week and last week is that as it's officially fall now, the cold weather in the morning is becoming, all the little problems that I had before are becoming bigger problems. And I'll describe some of the things I'm dealing with here to you guys. One of them here is I got an intermittent wiper issue, so that motor right there you see with the wipers. I think either the motor is bad, or I've got a bad ground to it, or possibly my multifunction switch is bad. And if the switch is bad, I'm really going to be not happy about that, because you got to take the whole column apart to do it. You got to take the steering wheel off, you got to take a lock nut off, you got to take basically everything up until your multifunction switch and take that out, and then that connects. It's got wires that run all the way down the column to a connector, a little U-shaped connector underneath the steering wheel, and you got to get all the way underneath there and take it out. And I really hope that doesn't happen, but that's not what I'm doing a video on today. The other thing I've been dealing with is my blower motor doesn't run at all speeds, which I only just noticed. I kind of had it in mind earlier this summer, at the beginning of summer when it would start in the mornings and it was a little colder, so I'd try to turn on the heat, but I didn't want it on full blast. I just wanted it on like halfway, and the blower fan wouldn't work, so I figured it must just be a vacuum thing. Well, now that I am starting the car in the morning cold every morning, and there was frost in my windshield this morning, so it's getting to the point where I need my heat to be on so I'm not freezing my balls off when I'm driving to work. And I figured out that the blower will only work on speeds 2 and 4. Speed 1 doesn't work and speed 3 doesn't work. So I'm going to show you that quick here of what I'm dealing with. Hopefully you can hear it on this camera. Okay, so it's running right now. See, I turn this on. Turn that down. Alright, we just gotta wait for it to. There we go. Put on the heat. Alright, so the fan right now, it should be running. It's not running at all. This is speed 2. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's on, right? Speed 3. It shuts off, so I'm going to do that real quick. Cycle at speed 2. Speed 3. Speed 2. Speed 3. It turns it off, which is not normal. And then, speed 4 works great. It's blowing so hard that it's also blowing out the defrost vents, and it shouldn't be. So I know I've got a lot of issues going on with that, but that right there, that shouldn't be like that. So that is what I'm dealing with here. And I didn't even have to look in the book to figure out what was going on here, because I've worked on cars enough to know, my way around this kind of stuff. But that's a blower resistor that's going out. Typically, sometimes in a car this old, there'd be a break in a wire somewhere, something like that. But considering 2 of the 4 speeds don't work, I'm going to go with blower motor resistor. But for the, just the appearance that maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, have a little diligence here, and I'm going to test it. And I've got both my manuals out here. This is incorrect. It's on the chapter for the B and C platform. This is a C platform, so it should be correct. But this looks like a G body set up to me, because there's the heater core right there, and then this is the blower fan with the resistor right there. But it's only a 3-speed resistor for starters, and you can see up here, blower resistor terminal view, A, B, and C. That's a 3-speed. Mine's a 4. And this not only does it only have 3 speeds on this, but this is a horizontally or vertically mounted blower fan on the firewall. Mine's you saw it. Mine is going horizontally. It's flat. It's laying down. And this is the resistor right here, or this is the connector for it. So I don't know what the dealer was thinking when they printed this book, but they didn't do it right. This is for G-body. I'm curious to see what the G-body chapter has to show, if it's just the same everything on it. So this is useless to me because it's incorrectly printed, but this is pretty universal here. So this is your heater circuit diagnosis. And basically what it wants you to do is disconnect the resistor connector and put a test light in between the resistor itself and the connector and try your speeds. And if the test light lights up on all of them, then you got to keep going down this chain. But if it lights up on just a couple of them, your resistor's bad. So I'll do that, and I'll put in the description what was wrong with it, because I don't have 3 hands and I can't hold the camera while I set this up. But yeah, and for anybody who is wondering, oh, maybe that's not the resistor and you're wrong. Well, I looked it up to confirm on Rock Auto on what a blower resistor looks like for Olds Delta 88, Olds 98 Regency. And it's this right here. It's a 4-prong connector with the bolts in either side of it right there. So that's what that is. I don't know what's wrong with the manual, why it's incorrect like that, but anyway, there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to test this, and I'll put in the description what was wrong with it, and then I'm going to replace that. I'll probably have to order that part, but I'm going to replace it, and then there'll be one less minor issue that I have to deal with before it gets too cold to the point where it's really annoying. But as far as updates for everything else on here, like I said, I got windshield wiper issues where, my wipers aren't parking. They're staying on all the time, even with the switch off. It's ridiculous. But of course, last night when I tried to test it the way the book tells you to, it worked like it should. So at this point, I don't know what to do about that. I'm going to have to try and get it to act up when I have some time on my hands to fuck with it. But as for right now, I'm just sort of leaving it the way it is, and if it rains out, I guess I'll take the other car. Yeah, basically, apart from that, the only other thing that I've got dealing with this is the flooding issue, which is becoming more and more of a problem. It's basically, it won't even let me start the car at the choke anymore, because you put the choke on and there's so much fuel stuck in it that it won't. I mean, there's got to be something wrong with it, because at first I thought, well, maybe my ignition module's fried, because people said that can happen, where your spark won't be strong enough to ignite the fuel and it'll really mess with it. Or my spark plugs were bad, which I haven't replaced them yet. I was going to when I did the carburetor on it, but I just never got around to it. But, like as it sits right now, I'm starting to think it's not a spark issue. I think it's a fuel issue, because I know you can't smell it right now, but it reeks of gas right now. Like, it's flooding. It's actively flooding as I'm sitting here recording this. And that shouldn't be happening if it's not running. I mean, that defies the laws of physics. I mean, the car is not running. No fuel is being pumped into it. It shouldn't be flooding right now, which probably means there's an internal leak somewhere, and my bowl's draining down into the cylinders overnight. And because it's cold, it's not evaporating like it would on a hot day. So, I don't know. I'm going to do the plugs and ignition module, and if that don't fix it, carb's coming off again. But I won't bother recording it, because I know you guys have seen it several times in this channel, and it's just not worth it anymore. But I'll tell you about that resistor, what the status of is it, and I'll see you later.